board, management, staff, or underwriters. Good morning, and we are back with Analyze This, which is brought to you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. I constantly want to say like p.m., but it's from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on WTGX FM 93.1, your NPR station in the Virgin Islands. And I am your guest host, former Senator Samuel Carrión, filling in for Neville James. Neville will be back on Wednesday, all right? So we hope he is doing all right. So we had a beautiful session this morning with Miss Ken, who is a managing director there at the Enterprise Zone Commission. Now we are in our second session, and I have the pleasure of having with me Miss Lisa. Let me get your last name.
Mordhorst.
Mordhorst, Executive Director of CM ARTS. And she'll be sharing with us all the wonderful things that are happening. So good morning, Lisa. So good to have you with us.
Good morning, Sam. It's so great to be here. Good morning to your listening audience. Always grateful to be on the show.
Good. Thank you for being here. Let's start. Tell us a little bit about yourself, right? And then we're going to go into the work that is happening at CMC.
Okay. Well, I have been living here on St. Croix for, it's probably about 11 and a half years now. I moved here from Brooklyn, New York. I'm 25 years New York City girl, Brooklyn primarily. And I worked in the arts for over 30 years, arts administration, and also as a practicing artist. So I was showing my work throughout the country, but mostly in the New York area. And since I've been here on St. Croix, I, I found a niche in providing bookkeeping services here. Very much needed. If anybody is looking for work, that is the place to be. And I built a small business out of that, supporting local small businesses, and also like the USVI Soccer Association I worked with for over 9 years, doing their not just bookkeeping, but accounting and audit management. And then I found my way back to the arts.
The arts, beautiful. The arts has a way of finding us,
That's
I would
true.
say sometimes,
That is
you're born with that within your vein. Beautiful. So, Lisa, for listeners who may not be familiar, tell us a bit about CMC Arts, what it's the mission and the role here on St. Croix.
So the Caribbean Museum Center for the Arts was founded over 30 years ago, 1994, and its mission has always been to promote and preserve the cultural arts and heritage of the Virgin Islands and the Caribbean and its diaspora.
Beautiful. And you've been with CMC for how long now?
So I've been the executive director since 2022, March of 2022. We're coming up on 4 years in 2026. But I was on the board before that for several years, from 2018 to 2022. CMC Arts was board run until, with a couple of spaces where there was some professional staff involved, but mostly board run for 28 years. And it's incredible the work that was done over that time. And I'm so proud to take the baton and be able to dig my feet in.
And how's that journey has been for you, right? You became involved with CMC, and then so you volunteer, you were on the board, and now as executive director.
The question is about the journey.
The journey,
the path.
Yeah, your involvement and then the whole journey through,
Yeah, I think, I'm not going to lie, it was terrifying to consider taking this lead role. I've never done anything like this as far as being the leader of certainly not an organization. I've led my own business, but that was a solo enterprise. So it was a really big step for me. The volunteering was natural, it was very natural for me, but it was the first time I've ever been on a board as well. So that was a learning curve, but being in the arts is not new to me. That's in my blood, that's in my soul. So, when we, as a board, built the organization to a place, we made a plan, strategic plan, to finally get ourselves to build a professional staff in order to sustain the organization well into the future. And, we made this plan and we started to put the word out. And I had not revealed completely to the St. Croix community about my arts administration background.
You had that like in the background, and bookkeeping came into the forefront,
yes.
It seems so.
Yeah, and because I suppose, again, I'll be frank, maybe I just wasn't confident enough in it, and it wasn't the right time. And then...
sometimes it's timing, too.
Yes, exactly. So when we started to put the call out looking for an executive director, I really had a heart-to-heart with myself and decided that it was time, that I can do this, that I can take this leap, I can find my confidence and put all of my knowledge to work to give back to the community.
Beautiful. And interesting, over the years, CMC Arts has really become a real cultural landmark in Frederickstead. How do you see the museum contributing to the town's cultural and the whole economic revitalization? We're talking about that in the first program, how important our towns are. And, CMC is right there, boom, in the heart of Frederickstead, which is part of the Enterprise Zone Commission that we're speaking in the first program, and within our historic town. So how do you see the role of the museum contributing to that whole cultural and economic revitalization?
Well, I think that through all the years, the CMC Arts has been in the building that we're in, which is 10 Strand Street, on the waterfront, with we go all the way through to
beautiful building.
To beautiful building.
From one street to the next street, right?
To King Street, yeah. So honored to be there. The building was renovated for CMC Arts, for the purpose of CMC Arts. They finished renovation about 2004. And since then, CMC Arts has been absolutely the hub. We are in the center of town. We stand by being present because that's what revitalization is about. So if there aren't any people on the street, then other things happen, and other than staying quiet, right? So it's critical to have activity there. We take it very seriously. We take our location very seriously. We've, sometimes ideas get tossed around about having either a second location or moving to where it's more comfortable for people maybe, but the arts always occupy spaces where there's opportunity. How about that? So
I like that.
And I've seen a lot of revitalization. If we're talking New York City, the arts consistently has moved through neighborhood to neighborhood, and the people follow, and we make beautiful spaces. So all the way from Soho in the 60s and 70s, and then Chelsea, I'm talking in Manhattan, and same with Williamsburg. I got priced out of Williamsburg, but I was there early. It was derelict and it was a little scary, and we just pushed through. But that's also where artists find affordable spaces, but they end up revitalizing it because of the activity.
Yeah, and we've seen places, like you said, nationally, where the arts has really taken a forefront and has changed and brought economic impact, and has revitalized areas. I know in Florida area, where I lived for a bit, you had Wynwood, the whole Wynwood area, how beautiful it's a whole turnaround, 180 degrees turnaround to derelict buildings, abandoned crime to and art space,
So I think it's because it's about bringing community together. So when I say activity, that's really what I mean, is when you bring the people together to be together, it's a force. It's an absolute force that is the key to that revitalization.
The power of art. And we've had these conversations off the air many times of how we would love to see the arts and the Virgin Islands really take a forefront, right? And come from behind the stage and be at the forefront in everything that we do. And it's happening little by little. It's happening, but CMC Arts is playing an important role in making this happen. Tell us about some of the things that you guys have done so far, and then we're going to talk about maybe what's coming, what's after that, and what's in the future.
Yeah. So in 2022, when I came on, we also had we had been stepstoning into the professional staff. And then we kind of blew out to 6 people, professional staff, and we were able to change our programming by over 300%. So,
wow! Congratulations!
Yeah, thank you. And we were very busy, and that was intentional. Again, being activated, that is our role. It may not be the words in our mission, but it is absolutely the undercurrent, the roots of our ethos. We believe that we can activate our community by being activated. So it's a little bit of a role model, but really it's inspiration. So, and it goes back again to being together being activated as a community. So we ramped up our education programming in particular. So offerings for youth. There was always various adult activities to do. Classes, clay classes, we have stained glass classes, we have lectures, concerts. We started a concert series, which we had been dabbling in that in years prior. And but absolutely the youth programming is what our education coordinator, Jessica Parker White, extremely talented, former instructor from Arthur A. Richards, and she took
Jessica is awesome.
She took that, and it's incredible. It's incredible what we are now doing to serve the youth and teens of the community.
And that's great, because you're just not building their station, just showing art, but you're actively engaging in the community and bringing the young people in, which is so crucial, right? We're talking about, you hear so much conversations about, doing activities for young people and having prevention programs to assist them. And you guys have been actively providing services. Just can you elaborate a bit some of those programs with our young people and children?
Sure. The crux of our youth programming is our Artists in Residence program, where it's an application program available to anybody in the world, and we bring approximately 7 visiting artists throughout the year. They generally stay on site with us. We have an apartment dedicated for that program. They stay with us for 3 to 4 weeks, sometimes a little bit shorter, but generally the 3 to 4 week and space time, and they work with the students.
Do you search them out, or sometimes they also reach out?
Both.
Okay.
However, it's gaining popularity. So this year versus last year, we had 20 applicants. This year we had 33 applicants. And so the word is getting around. It's organically word of mouth. Also, artists who have participated
share with other colleagues,
and or artists who are already here, maybe spreading the word.
Friends
also,
and family,
and then sometimes maybe we have a scheduling snafu that happens where we do have to seek somebody out at the last minute. Life is life, so
and maybe for something particular that you want to. That you're focused on and you would like to provide.
Yes. So, for example, the Film Over Gun Violence program that we're collaborating with Blue Tarp Productions and CFEG, the Center for Educational Growth, we collaborate with them. It really is Blue Tarp Productions program, but we provide the visiting artist, and we are honing in on that. So that's no longer part of our regular open application. We're searching for somebody who's a theater screenwriter. So yes, there's
someone who has specific
yes
expertise in certain areas to explore that.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And when you have these programs that are young people, what they usually Is it after school type of programs, weekends, weekdays? How?
So it started with predominantly after school and Saturday workshops, but over the years we are now doing more programming in the school systems. We spend a lot of time.
So you go out to the schools?
Yes, we do. And those visiting artists are creating their own curriculum based on their medium, meaning based on what they make with their art. Let's say, for example, there's a mosaic artist, right? So he has a set curriculum that he has already taught before. We go into the schools. We spend a lot of focus on the high schools. We believe that we can have the strongest impact with our teens. All ages, of course, because we also spend a lot of time with our littlest from 2 to 7 year old.
I saw that one time, one of the flyers.
Yeah. So really, I don't mean to separate out different age groups, but we do think that the teen years is a critical time. People get lost during those years. And so it's close to my heart to spend a lot of time with the teens and help them express themselves, because really you have the capacity to work through your emotions more clearly. And when you're a teenager, there's a lot going on.
A lot going on.
So I
have 2 homes, so I know.
Yeah. So we try to help them find a path for their emotions, for their experiences, to release it, to find some peace. And
it's a way of expression,
Exactly.
And we sometimes don't imagine the stress that a teen might be going through. For us adults, sometimes like, what could that child be going through? We have all the headaches and bills to pay and things to do. But no, children, they go through their set of challenges.
It was very difficult. So CMC Arts, the other part of our ethos is to provide a safe space for all people, and so that becomes critical with the students, with the young people, no matter what age. We repeat it over and over and over again. And by safe space, I mean, even if we're in the school, it's not a physical space. It's the space where you feel free to express yourself.
And the arts play such an important role in that self-expression. And that's why you see children sometimes, if they're drawing something, they would draw something according to their feelings or their experiences or what they're going through. And it reveals a lot about a person. And it reveals a lot about our children too. So we're going to take a break now, but when we come back, we're going to speak a little bit about cultural exchange and also supporting local artists. And we're going to also chat about some of the exhibitions that you guys have had or that are coming up in CMC Arts. Thank you. Welcome. This is Analyze This. So we'll take a break and we'll be right back.
Analyze This with Neville James is underwritten in part by Bank of St. Croix, providing in-person banking service, personal and business checking and savings accounts, an online banking cash management platform and mobile apps. Learn more at bankofstcroix.com. Bank of St. Croix is proud to support public media in the Virgin Islands.
America's defense budget is the largest in the world. But the true cost of America's defense extends far beyond the weapons and machines of war. From young men and women who choose to serve,
they're going to have to drag me out this uniform,
to defense workers at home, to those who care for America's wounded warriors. This is the true cost of America's defense.
Tune in November 4th at 8 p.m. on WTJX-TV Channel 12. This is the WTJX FM Community Calendar. Join the free in-person 6-week American Sign Language course at UVI's Orville Kent campus September 22nd through November 4th. Call 340-693-1322 or Khalifa Thomas at uvi.edu for more information. And if you'd like your event aired on the WTJX Community Calendar, please send it at least 2 weeks in advance to news at WTJX.org.
You know a good story when you hear it. Makes you feel, laugh, think. Sometimes you get a little teary. I'm Scott Simon, host of Weekend Edition Saturday, and each week we bring you stories from around the country and around the world. Stories that help you learn, make you smile, catch you by surprise. Please join us every Saturday for the news you need and the stories you won't forget.
Weekend Edition, Saturdays at 9 a.m. on WTJX FM 93.1, your NPR station in the Virgin Islands.
Welcome back, and you are listening to Analyze This I am your guest host, former Senator Samuel Carrión, filling in for Neville James this morning. And with me, we have Lisa, who is Executive Director for CMC ARTS. So we've been chatting a little bit about some of the programs and their educational component, arm from the museum and the work that they've been doing. So it's been very interesting first half of the program, and Lisa's been sharing with us. Now we want a little bit about cultural exchange. Let's talk a little bit about that. You know, does the museum collaborate with other artists and institutions from the Caribbean islands and mainland, and even here locally? How that works?
The answer is yes. We are open to all collaborations. That's the root of the work that we do. Is it takes everybody to participate to do this. But we, for the last 3 years, we've primarily been working with artists from the USVI. So although our mission is extremely broad to support all of the Caribbean, we have a lot going on here, and so we've been celebrating that. Primarily through solo exhibitions of local artists. We absolutely have had a few group shows of Puerto Rican and Cuban artists as well. So we do. We're a little bit of that Caribbean. We're doing a little bit,
and that cultural exchange.
We're going to start growing that. We've absolutely done an exhibition with Bajan artists. That was a thrill. You know, we had some politicos from Barbados visit us during that time. Very, very interesting. And so the cultural exchange component, which also our visiting artists are taking on as well. So those artists, we had a Nigerian artist, a textile artist visit us this past, last year, December. The arts is rooted in cultural exchange. It is the clearest path to sharing our experiences and our identities. And I believe that that is what levels the playing field when we start talking about sharing ourselves, our identities, our culture, our knowledge, our beliefs. We respect each other more.
It is interesting how culture and arts really go hand in hand. I don't think you can have one without the other.
No.
So it's important to be able through the arts to express our culture through it. And I see you guys have been doing that type of work. Now, when it comes to supporting local artists, you know, one of the museum's strength is that supporting local, like you mentioned, and also regional artists. How does CMC Arts help emerging artists develop and share their work?
So we've had several exhibitions in the last few years where we've tried focusing on emerging artists to help them develop their voice. We work with all artists at every stage of their career, or maybe it's not a career, and that's okay. So we have open arms for anybody and everybody. What has transpired over the last few years is, to be honest, this community came forward and they said, I'm ready to show my work. And for those who are emerging, please just come and visit us and start seeing the shows that are happening. Be inspired. Knock on my door. Don't be shy. Call me. I give my personal cell phone number out to everybody. We're here to work through your ideas. So this is something that we've been saying the last couple of years. Is we're in the business of big ideas. So
I like that.
We don't have a big budget, but we make it work because we're artists. That's what artists do.
That's right, in the business of big ideas. So if there is an emerging artist out there, feel free to, come in and have a conversation with Lisa. And sometimes there's so many questions. How do I start? What do I do? I know I have this gift. I know I have this talent. I like to create. I like to do this. But how do I take that to the next level? And sometimes you just have to have a conversation with someone who is there.
Absolutely.
And try to, identify a mentor that can assist you.
And there are several artists here in our community who are very open to mentorship. I can name several right now. So Elwin Joseph, Lucian Downs, right? He's very, very open to mentoring. Ileana Schuster-Brown is very interested in mentoring. She's also doing youth classes, art classes, generally, I believe, after school and weekends. So check her out. Ileana B. Artistry, and she's in Princess, so she's doing some great work as well. All open to mentorship.
Beautiful, beautiful. So it's just a matter of just, knocking on some doors and really positioning yourself for growth and progress. So that's good. And CMC is there. Now let's talk about some of the current exhibition. What exhibitions or artist showcases are currently on display, or what themes are you guys exploring for the future?
So right now we have our VIPR celebratory exhibition that is still on. That opened in early September, and it's on view through November 8th. So we have
a few more days.
We have a little bit more time left, so come on out and see the show. It's getting a lot of compliments, and that exhibition is a posthumous exhibition, meaning the artist has passed. He passed away in 2015. His name is Wilfred Labiosa. From Old San Juan.
Okay.
And he is the father of a board member of ours, also named Wilfred Labiosa. Not a junior-senior situation, but... and the show is a full retrospective of his life's work. And so it ranges from his time... He's a Nuyorican artist, so he was born in New York City, and then found his way back to Puerto Rico, and fell in love with Old San Juan, and that's where he started a gallery there. In any case, so that show is up through the 8th. Please come visit. Again, it's received a lot of compliments. It truly is a beautiful show. We're honored to be honoring Wilfred Labiosa.
So you have maybe 4 more days to be able to enjoy that.
That's right.
What time, from what hours to what hours?
So CMC Arts is open Tuesdays through Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We are free admission, no admission, free of charge. Please come. It is a space of respite, of learning, of discovery. Come and hang out. We have a beautiful courtyard. So from 9 to 4, Tuesday through Saturday.
Bring out your family. It's good to go out maybe on a date if you want.
Absolutely.
And just, take a stroll and look at the art that is there. Come with your children and grandparents.
School.
Bring your grandkids, so friends and family, just come out and enjoy.
And we have a beautiful museum store as well, also featuring local artists, mostly, actually all from the USVI. And that includes artisans and handcrafts and stuff like that, as well as original paintings, and then we have prints and things like that. So we also have a new exhibition coming up on November 22nd. All of our exhibitions, it's an honor to work with the artists that I'm working with. The exhibitions are my specialty, so I take the lead on that. And the November 22nd show will be Yamaya Rice Jones. Some know her by. Right now, the show she's running just with Yamaya. And this is a 50-year look at her artistry. She's a
Wow.
textile artist. She's a hand dyer of silks and other materials, but predominantly silk. So she works with different techniques, Japanese techniques, also batik. So we're really looking forward to that show. She did an exhibition about 10 years ago covering 40 years of her life. And now we're doing 50 years where she'll be spending some time telling about the actual techniques, like showing the tools. She also has some full outfits on view. So come on out for that opening. It's Saturday, November 22nd. Wear your Yamaya pieces. I know everybody has one out there. So.
Awesome. So that sounds like it'll be great. So November 22nd. Good. So also, what are some of the ways that the local community can engage with the museum? I know you mentioned you guys have sometimes classes, volunteering or events, or also giving. Because you said that, the entrance is free, but I'm pretty sure you guys need funding to be able to operate. So supporting the gift shop, right?
Yes.
And or giving. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so the gift shop is a great way to support us. That is direct, unrestricted revenue for us. That keeps us alive, helps to keep us alive. But also our memberships, we have, just like WTJX, we have annual and sustaining memberships available. And that also helps us to move about the world month to month, doing the work that we're doing and keeping us alive.
Because now you guys have staff,
exactly. Exhibitions,
constantly work happening, educational outreach outside to the schools.
Right. Nothing is free out there except for our own expression, and creativity.
And
that's
even,
free,
and even that now is at a cost. So let's not get into that. But
so we just like any business, really. I don't see how a nonprofit has that extra added benefit to the people who join us, who join our family, become members, and or individual donors or corporate donors. We're all in this together, so we don't survive without all of you.
Which is important to mention out there. It's a nonprofit organization, like you mentioned, that needs support of the community. And when we say the community, also the business sector community, if you're looking for a place to donate and give, CMC Arts, it's a perfect place to do it. And if anybody wants to volunteer, how can they get in touch? Where can they call? Or if they want to give?
Yeah, so we have a fabulous group of volunteers, always looking for more. We absolutely are a big family, and in a positive way. I guess sometimes families, you feel a little weird about families, but we're a very positive family, and we hope that you'll join us. You can find information about volunteering on our website, cmcarts.org. And you can send us a message through there, or you could just give us a call. So the number is 340-772-2622 and ask about volunteering. We have, events that happen. So there's some fun bartending opportunities there. Definitely the youth programming, like our Little Artist Days series, which is serving 2 to 7-year-olds. So we have a lot of the community come out for that, because we have different stations throughout the courtyard for the littles, and they need some help along the way. They're 2 years old. They know what they're doing. They have things to say, but they need a little guidance. So
that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Now when we speak about the economy, how important is CMC Arts to the local economy and tourism in Frederickstad, especially in terms of cultural tourism? We speak about, we have cruise ships that are coming and docking in Frederickstad. We hope that continues to increase. Like we mentioned before, you're right in the heart of town. So, what role and how do you see the role of CMC Arts with all of this?
Well, I think that it's our responsibility to take the lead on the arts economy. I think we are. Sometimes it just is so incredible to me how much this community is supporting us through purchasing local art and crafts. Thank you, everybody, for that. But we are also right at the mouth of the pier, so we are one of the few businesses that they first encounter, the cruise ship visitors, and we get a lot of traffic that way. And they're heavily encouraged to go up to experience the exhibitions as well, which is where that cultural exchange is deepening. And they love the store. So we're almost 50% supported by our store, which is supporting over 100 local artists. Wow. So that is not a small thing at all. And again, thank you to our community, our direct community, who's supporting each other. We are all supporting each other.
Beautiful. And you mentioned a very important point, the role that you guys play and how, when it comes to our tourism product and so forth. We're going to take a break pretty soon, but again, can you share the numbers of those individuals that might want to be involved or want to give, so people can connect or have any questions?
Our phone number? Yes. Yeah. You can reach CMC Arts at cmcarts.org. You can also call 340-772-2622. And otherwise, if you see me on the street, I'll give you my card with my personal cell phone number, which I'm not going to put on the radio right now.
Please don't. Good. So we have that exhibition coming up on the 22nd.
November 22nd, Yamaya, so that's Yamaya Jones, has a solo exhibition opening Saturday, November 22nd from 4 to 8 p.m. Wear your Yamaya wearables.
And mark it on your calendar. And also, you have about 4 more days to come in and look at the current exhibition that you have now, which is in honor of.
It's celebrating VIPR. We're honoring the life and work of Wilfred Labiosa from Puerto Rico.
Beautiful. We are going to be taking a break, but when we come back, we're going to also speak about maybe some of the challenges, because artists and museums go through challenges. So we're going to speak about some of those challenges. Everything is not, cherry on the cake. You also have your challenges coming around. So we'll talk about that and some of the other things that are coming up, the vision ahead, and where she sees CMC going. So we'll be right back after this break.
WTJX is underwritten in part by Cost You Less, your local warehouse retailer offering a wide variety of grocery items, bulk size everyday essentials, and household necessities that you can depend on to run your home or business. Located at 4300 Sign Farm, Christiansted, 340-719-4442, or costyouless.com. Cost You Less is proud to support public media in the Virgin Islands.
I'm just in awe.
On Finding Your Roots, Anita Hill.
I'd like to hope that I've inherited tenacity.
And Brittany Patnett Cunningham.
I didn't even know that anything was missing.
Family stories of freedom and fear.
They were basically being terrorized.
They didn't just give up.
And the Civil War sacrifice.
I find myself struck by the cruelty of our history.
Tune in November 4th at 9 p.m. on WTJX TV Channel 12.
This is the WTJX FM Community Calendar. Join the free in-person 6-week American Sign Language course at UVI's Orville Kent campus September 22nd through November 4th. Call 340-693-1322 or Khalifa Thomas at uvi.edu for more information. And if you'd like your event aired on the WTJX Community Calendar, please send it at least 2 weeks in advance to news at WTJX.org.
Changed. On Finding Your Roots, Wes Studi.
I'd say things like, I don't have a dad.
And LeVar Burton.
You grow up just with the blanks.
Trauma on the Trail of Tears.
I know it's got to be painful.
We've lived with that pain for a long time.
And a shocking family.
And we are back, and you're listening to Analyze This on WTJX FM 93.1, your NPR station in the Virgin Islands. And I am yours truly, your guest host, former Senator Samuel Carrión, filling in for Neville James, so who will be back on Wednesday. And you can listen and stream. We're live on WTJX.org. And on social media on Facebook and YouTube at WTJX. So please connect, to your friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend to connect. And this morning we have with us the Executive Director of CMC ARTS, Lisa. So we're speaking about arts and all the good things related to that. So Lisa, thank you once again for being here with us this morning.
Thank you, Sam.
I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad the listening audience have an opportunity to know what's happening on the West Side and the good work that CMC is doing. So we were discussing some of the programs, and we're discussing how people can volunteer, how they can give, how you guys fit in within Frederickstead, the outreach you guys are doing to the schools. But all of this comes with a price. And I know everything is not, cookie cut, and it's not as easy as it may seem. You make it look easy. But they are challenges, and like any nonprofit organization or cultural institution, the arts organization also face funding resources challenges. And what keeps CMC Arts thriving, and how can the public help and support its mission? I think that's one important things I want you to mention, because sometimes some individuals don't see the arts as important, and sometimes they don't play the role that they should. But you guys are keeping the flame burning. Tell us a bit some of the challenges to keep that flame on.
Well, funding, but I may have mentioned this earlier. A nonprofit is not necessarily that different from any other business. So these challenges are worldwide, and how do you stay afloat, right? How do you make the money? And for CMC Arts, we have really focused on this community, our community, everybody that's listening right now. Thank you for your support. We are about 50% supported by our store, which is you, which is all of you participating in that store. And then the other 50 is pretty much, so let's call it 45%, is individual donations and memberships. Wow. So thank you, everyone. It's critical that we have your support, because look what's happening in our environment elsewhere. So the grant situation has not been a comfortable space for me, because I truly believe, well, now we're watching it disappear, of course, with the federal situation, but really these organizations like CMC Arts, like WTJX, we're community organizations. We all work together as one in order to provide services and to be all together as a unit, as a community. So It takes all of us, and so the funding is critical. Your participation, your activation. So we hope to inspire you to be with us and join the family.
And I guess as individuals, we're able to hear this sport and some of the work that you do, because sometimes they think about CMC arts, or they think, oh, maybe they just have, some arts on display and that's it. But to hear how you're involved in the community, and also how you're strengthening our culture, and how you are representing the Virgin Islands there where you're at, they can connect and collaborate and see how it impacts our children, our schools too. So hopefully that will motivate people to decide, I want to be part. I want to see how I can contribute. I want to see how I can help to make it happen. Thank you for sharing that. You guys also do concert series, right?
We do. We have an annual series that started several years ago. It's called the Dr. Simone L. Palmer Concert Series. We're honoring Dr. Simone L. Palmer, former owner of Sandcastle on the Beach, but primarily her love was physical therapy. And so the Dr. Simone L. Palmer Wellness Center across the street from Sandcastle, just want to give a shout out to them. They are the sponsor of this concert series. It runs during high season, so we have a opening concert coming up on December 11th. That's a Thursday, so we run our concerts monthly, the second Thursday of the month. So December 11th, we have Marsvin David is doing his Christmas extravaganza. He's done this concert for the last 2 years. It's a big show. We have multiple, up to 6 vocalists, and all of our favorite musicians all playing together on one stage from 6 to 9 p.m. December 11th.
Well, you don't want to miss that.
Yeah.
Mark that on your calendar. That's you're in for a treat.
And you can actually go and purchase tickets on our website now. We rushed to post it just for this show. So cmcarts.org/events. You can go ahead and save your seat.
Beautiful. And those sales help the operation of the work, and that's how you do some fundraising, because it's not like you're just crossing your hands through activities that you guys do to be able to raise funds to continue to have your doors open and provide that space for all of us to be able to enjoy. Good. So mark it down. Concert series coming up. You guys also do annual fundraising events, right?
Yes, absolutely. So even the concerts are small, mid-sized fundraisers for us, and we appreciate everybody coming out. Excuse me. But we also do, like most nonprofits, a larger event annually. We were doing them in November, but we're settling in to try to have our event every January. So mark your calendars. We haven't released anything yet. This is the first mention. January 24th will be the CMC Arts annual soiree. We love everybody coming out. We dress to the nines. And, well, we're still pretty casual. We'll do a little island elegant, right? Anyway, so keep your eyes peeled for all of the information on that. I just wanted to give a shout out for that event. And, yeah. But, yeah, our concerts, our exhibition openings, we charge a very, very low fee. I think it's extremely reasonable, but it helps us not only put on those events, but they are tiny fundraisers for us.
Beautiful, beautiful. And what is ahead also? What are you expecting to see in the future? What's your vision for the next few years for CMC Arts?
Well, I'm really excited about the exhibitions that are coming up. We have a very exciting year. I'll just give a little tiny mention that, so I spoke about focusing on the USBI predominantly over the last few years in the exhibitions. This year, we have some opportunities to share with some other artists from the diaspora and from throughout the Caribbean and Puerto Rico as well. So we have some big hitters coming, including our Dialogues on Freedom series in the summer. We have a young group, it's a collaborative group from Puerto Rico of women biologists. So we're going to work on the crossover between the arts and science.
Ah, interesting.
And farming, our agricultural world, with some deep dives into food security, land ownership. I mean, we have a ton of conversation going on around this show. The biologists do soil samples, and then they have artists and curators who are actually making work out of those soil samples, and other artists who generally work with organic material.
Interesting.
It's going to be I'm very excited.
Yeah, how you
about
mix
that
the
exhibition.
elements and you bring science, in with the arts and combine everything together. Very interesting, very interesting. So, what else how do you see CMC Arts growing and evolving?
So we have a vision to be the premier art museum in the region. I think that will be on our strategic goal for many, many, many years. We know how small our community is here, but we do have access to a large amount of tourists, and so we hope to grow that experience for tourists and that cultural exchange component, but also build a lot more access for our local community and for artists. You were mentioning, we were talking about emerging artists before, and try to inspire and encourage everybody to participate in a broader arts economy.
Which is so crucial, and it's important that we support artists. I don't know how much we could stress that. For some, it's a hobby, but for others, is their career. And the journey of artists. I mean, I've read some of their stories. I've heard some of their testimonies. It's not easy. It's challenging. So I think it's important that we encourage individuals to support your local artists.
Absolutely.
And there are different ways and forms to do that. Also, is being present, when they have exhibitions, and also buying their work.
Yes.
And talking about their work, and the museum is there in the heart of Frederickson. Like we said, it's a great opportunity for you to come out with your family. Sometimes we say, there's nothing to do in the Virgin Islands, but there are. We're hearing of all the workshops you guys do. So stay connected, be informed, and participate. It's a great place to go with your family and look at different workshops they have available, sign them up, participate, and that way you are supporting. You have, like you mentioned, the concert series that is coming up. So there's a lot to do. There's a lot to do and to participate within our community. What would you like to see when it comes to the arts in general? Now let's come a little bit out of CMC, but for the Virgin Islands and for St. Croix, because you're an artist yourself, and maybe you can share. Coming from New York and seeing how it is over there, and then coming to the Virgin Islands, what would you like to see in the field of the arts in general for us as a people and here in the island of St. Croix?
Well, when I first moved here, there were actually a lot of galleries open, and they have one by one closed down. So that was pretty exciting to have so many galleries in Christiansted open. I would love to see that happen again, but it's oftentimes it becomes a conversation of like remembering, we used to have this, or everybody talks about the Good Hope art show, right? It sounds so exciting. Well, we can do that again, but it takes everybody to participate. We can't sit back and say, oh, those were the good old days, it's never coming back, or it's not going to happen. Well, it can. We just have to get up and do it together. And yeah, like you mentioned, we've seen a lot of unfortunately art galleries close down in Christiansted at one point. I think when it came to culinary, when it came to food and art, we were like at the forefront within the Caribbean. And I think we need to bring that back to life. And you said something crucial, I think all of us coming together.
I would like to see more of it. There's one thing that I always say: I would love to see more murals. I would like to see more sculptures and statues and ways that we can express our arts. When people travel to different places, and we've had this conversation, they look for places where they can even take pictures. And usually it's something that is an expression of art in some fashion or form. And I think being that we in the Virgin Islands are one of our main products is tourism. We need to do more to be able to showcase who we are through the arts in our territory. What's your take on that?
Well, art tourism is not a small is not small economy. I personally used to travel just to see exhibitions throughout the world, mainly Europe, but people will get on a plane to go see a special show or a larger sculpture park, let's say. And even if that wasn't their primary reason for travel, let's say, for example, the cruise ship, people will naturally gravitate towards public art, public spaces that feel welcoming, that generally include public art. It tells the story, the cultural exchange component, and the world is interested.
They are. So we have to listen, and we have to provide what they're looking for, and they're looking for those experiences. Lisa, I want to thank you so much for being here with us this morning and sharing with us what CMC Arts is doing over there in Frederickstad, and inviting the community to participate, come by and check for yourself what is happening. Some closing remarks.
I just, again, want to thank our entire community, not just St. Croix, but, we have a lot of allies and artists in St. Thomas and St. John. So shout out to all of you, and thank you to all of our supporters. And please come out to CMC Arts. You can find us cmcarts.org. And our events are really fun. We have a really fabulous family, so join us.
Share the number again where you can reach for more information.
It's 340-772-2622.
Beautiful. Thank you for being here with us. And I want to thank everyone for listening this morning. And you have been listening to Analyze This, which is on every weekdays from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on here in your station, WTJX FM 93.1, your NPR station in the Virgin Islands. And this has been an honor for me to serve as your guest host, former Senator Samuel Carrión, filling in for Neville James. It'll be until tomorrow when you hear another program just like this one. All right, have a beautiful day, and God bless you all. Thank you.
The views and opinions expressed on Analyze This are entirely those of the on-air participants and do not reflect those of the station's board, management, staff, or underwriters.
On Secrets of the Dead.
We need to relook at the murder of the princess in the tower.
I think they actually survived. The builders discovered 2 skeletons, and they were clearly skeletons of children.
This is first-class propaganda. If Richard III didn't kill his nephews, the princes in the tower, then what happened to them?
On Secrets of the Dead.
Tune in November 5th at 11 p.m. on WTJX TV, Channel 12.
Weekday mornings are a juggle, sometimes even a struggle. Morning Edition from NPR News eases you into your day and keeps you company through the chaos of a busy morning. Hear interviews that give you context on the day's biggest stories, along with reporting and updates on the latest breaking news. Stay on top of the world with Morning Edition every weekday.
Morning Edition, weekdays at 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. on WTJX FM 93.1.
Good morning. This is meteorologist Russ Murley with your WTJX local forecast. This is Monday, the 3rd of November. Sunshine, partly sunny at times, isolated showers, upper 80s this afternoon. Easterly winds at 10 to 20. We'll see a few clouds with isolated showers tonight, low 78 to 82. Sunshine, partly sunny at times, isolated showers, upper 80s to near 90 tomorrow. Partly cloudy with isolated showers tomorrow night, 78 to 82. It'll be partly sunny with isolated showers Wednesday, upper 80s to near the 90-degree mark. Rip current risk will remain elevated the next few days. Coming up tonight at 8 on WT.